Welcome back. Welcome to part 2 for the Questers Passive 2. I'm your friendly neighbor, Dungeon Master Peter. We'll get into that fateful meeting that we've been dreading and or anticipating for the longest time, full of vibrant characters from all over this campaign. Let's not cough myself to death.
Please.
But we'll go ahead and get to it. As you guys wake up in the morning, backtrack a little bit. As you guys go down, each and every one will have their own room, except for Beryl.
Beryl stays on the deck.
Beryl will sleep on the deck. KT will actually get the captain's quarters.
Yeah, baby.
That is your reward. There's your favorite foods up there, and a little picture of you in a captain's outfit.
When did they have time to paint this? That is so cool.
And it does say you can take me down on travel size.
Hell yeah. Can I just keep the ship?
We'll talk about it later.
Alright. If I keep the ship, I'm renaming it.
Okay.
What's the name of the ship now?
It doesn't have a name.
Oh, then I'm naming the ship.
The SS unnamed.
It's the SS...
TBD.
Because I only have S stencils.
Now should be known as the SS John Doe.
John Doe.
The SS TV.
You guys
I'll
will
find a good name for this ship by session's end.
Alright. You guys will wake
You guys
up.
come up in the morning and Beryl's created this like dwarf-sized nest of blankets between a couple of barrels up against the side of the wall.
Love it.
Barrel between the barrels.
Before we wake up,
Okay.
I would like to send an irate message to Beryl.
Okay.
Hey, you up?
Oh my.
I am now.
Oh, sorry. I don't know who to talk about this, but since you're married, I feel like you're engaged, married. I don't remember the whole situation, but I feel like with someone who has relationship experience, I feel like you're the best person to confront on this case.
Because you can't confront the other two.
All right.
I only as Bousta, I only directly know Beryl because I told Beryl's fiance at the time that she was dead, and here she is alive. Like,
Yeah, you're an asshole.
I was trying to be nice. Fuck off.
By the way, she's dead. Boop. What the fuck?
I didn't know she'd be alive. I also didn't know we'd get as many subs as we did.
Yeah, that was amazing. Thank you, Gary, again.
Yeah, right.
All right. Well, I'm open for this conversation so long as you don't ask me anything like super dirty person.
Oh no, I'm not asking you to do anything personal. I'm asking for advice. What room are you staying in? I don't want to have this over the eye ring because I feel like we're being watched.
Yeah, you
Well-
are. Keep going. Keep going.
Fucking dickery.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
Talk to her dirty.
I'm
hate
actually
this.
not in a room. I'm on the deck.
I go to my room and walk into the deck.
Okay.
You come up on the deck and Beryl is entrenched in a dwarf-sized blanket between barrels.
Barrel
against
in
the
the
wall.
It's a barrel sandwich.
I very gently knock on the blanket wall of
Bear reception.
fort.
It's kind of like pull it open. Hi.
Alright. Find the name. That wasn't easy. That
I
was
just like kind of stand up and I start taking the barrel down because it's daytime now, so I start taking the blanket down because you can't crawl under there.
Yeah, I'm a little too big for that, and I'm not attuned to the circle anymore, so I can't shrink down anymore. So I'm kind of stuck like this. How do I put this? How'd you react when someone saw you naked? I know it's a very personal question, but I am asking for personal reasons because I'm.
Well, I mean,
I'm
a couple
weird old
occasions
man.
in my life, but as long as I was naked willingly, it's usually a pretty good feeling. But I mean, I suppose if someone were to surprise me, then maybe I'd be embarrassed.
It was kind of surprising, but there was a lot happening, and I'm not sure what happened. I don't know how to go forward from here, considering I consider them a close friend, and I don't want to make things awkward going forward.
Well, is this a close friend that you have romantic feelings for?
Oh, you gonna be buddies with metal?
I'm gonna roll a d100 for that.
Oh yeah!
Leave it up to the dice. Hey, Talbot, odds or evens?
Whoa! Sorry, I don't know why I'm yelling.
Does your daughter
fuck
actually
yourself
blue?
Respectfully.
That's not an answer to the question. Odds or evens, buddy.
Well, she's an oddball, so odds.
All right. Odds is since you can decide.
I don't entirely know just yet. There's history in a backward sense, but I don't think I've fully thought about it from that perspective.
Well, was this intentional nudity?
No, I'm not going to put it as intentional. It was a unforeseen set of circumstances, and I don't know how to go from here. I'm going to be honest. I've been alive for a good amount of years, and up to this point, I've never really dealt with this kind of shit. So I would like the opinion and expertise of someone who has at least been through this, and maybe I do, maybe I don't, but I don't understand where to go from here without making shit awkward as fuck.
Well, that could be kind of hard. Generally, I find my fun where I find it, and that just ended up resulting in marriage later on, because I knew that I liked him. But since this is a person you said is already kind of a close friend, and you don't want to make it awkward, I mean, adult to adult, you could just sit down with them and ask if they have any feelings for you, or if they intentionally came in to see you for reasons outside of something innocent.
They also don't seem to be someone who would be in that type of respect. They seem very forward about the way that they do things.
How much are you trying to make me think this isn't Talbot?
Right.
I am not like hiding anything at all. Like
All right.
it is very much like for a friend. I have a friend who knows a friend who is from the same general area.
Oh, hold on, wait.
It is very much like Bousta doesn't know how to go about this situation and is like coding things after the fact of for a friend.
Okay. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna think from what you've told me about your friend that perhaps she's a very straightforward kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me for saying she. I mean, I don't know.
No, it
Okay.
is she.
All right.
In this
She
specific
seems very
instance.
straightforward in the sense that you've been telling me about. I think the most direct and easy thing to do is to straight up ask her if she has feelings for you. And if you don't know your feelings, then maybe take some time to figure out what you're feeling first. And if she doesn't reciprocate, then you can go from there with your relationship, as friends. But if she does reciprocate, at least you haven't lost any time. But you should make sure for sure that you have feelings first, and maybe you're not just feeling a little bit of exposure. Exposure excitement was what I was going to say, but yes.
Casey's just on the deck, just like still sleeping, says it in his sleep.
No, I'm in the captain's
The
quarters.
captain's
That was a seagull I went by.
Horny. Horny. I love that. Is he smoking a cigar and having tequila too?
The parrot flies out of the captain's quarters.
But I think beating
Somebody
around the
cue
bush
that
is going to
damn
make things
Boyd.
more awkward than just coming out and saying it.
Yeah, you're probably right. I appreciate it. Thank you.
And I go back to my quarters, and Bousta's like meditating all night, doesn't even like fully sleep, is just meditating, trying to figure out what the fuck is happening. Because Bousta doesn't even know. And just like meditates through the whole night, kind of like an elven sleep where they're like in that like trance. Meditates through the rest of the night from that point on.
Okay. All right, so you guys will wake up, gather on the deck. As you guys are kind of like waking up, Bear will be the first one to see this. But you see multiple ships all just in a circle. They didn't plop, they just kind of were there. No flags, nothing. You just see the ship, you don't see anyone on deck. When the rest of everyone else comes up, they would see the exact same thing. Multiple ships around, no one on the deck.
So we just got a bunch of okay.
Beryl just pull out her little thing and start making, like, for the first time, guys, Beryl's making coffee because she did not sleep well. So
neither did Bousta.
As you guys come up and see all the ships and everything, and is anyone on the deck with me outside of my own party? Like, do I see any penguins wandering around?
No,
I
just
kick open
our
the captain's quarters.
It's
Good
your
morning, everybody.
You see Bousta just kind of looking out to the sea, bags under his eyes.
Didn't get your sea legs?
Something like that.
I got my sea leg.
Yes, you have a peg leg, which is very easy to stabilize yourself. I'm very proud of you, KT.
I don't think you got the joke.
I did not, though.
Alright.
Beryl just sips her coffee quietly. Not having this.
Bousta just kind of reaches out his trunk towards the nearest mug if it has coffee in it.
Mm-hmm.
He just hopefully grabs a mug with coffee in it.
Yep, she's made one for
that's
everybody.
I have a little bit a banquet we're putting in front of you guys, like a breakfast banquet for you guys to eat. Everyone's favorite breakfast foods and everything. So this will give you guys the time to kind of talk amongst yourselves on how you want to proceed to the meeting. As in, what is the objective on your guys' end? Do you guys want to assign a spokesperson if it comes down to just leaders talking? Because all you guys know is to show up to the meeting. You don't know any other information other than that.
Well, it's not a loss to say that our two most eloquent people are Talbot and Bousta for making speeches. Though sometimes Bousta can get a little...
I would like to, if Talbot took the lead on this one.
And Bousta's not making eye contact. At fucking all.
Well, I was actually thinking that Core is the original member of the group, considering the amount of depth that Core has, considering this situation. She's probably the most familiar face of the group.
That's true, and Eugene does like you a lot. He tends to listen to what you say.
So,
In
which we're not entirely sure how this is going to happen, but if someone was going to, it would probably be great for someone who is going to be leading her people once this war is over.
Well, that's true. Do you think your grandfather sent a representative outside of your dad and you?
Probably not.
Interesting.
So, if there is a spokesperson, I think that Core should be taking the lead. And we will just be backup, or we can clarify things if there is some confusion.
I'm okay with being moral support. Make a good pot of tea. Anybody gets aggravated.
But we should talk about what we want to accomplish with this meeting.
I'm not the greatest spokesperson, so I definitely would like someone to be with me and talking.
I will be there to assist you, Core.
I'll be there for emotional support.
And I'll be there too.
Okay, so we should talk about what we want from this meeting. Because now we've gotten all of the people here. Question is, now that they're here, what now?
Well, I mean, ideally, we'd like for them to offer a few more troops each, and believe we need to maybe work with them depending on where they're at geographically, which ones need to partner up and be the allies for the fronts that they're going to be on.
Well, we do need to keep in mind, and Talbot will frankly go through her notes and go, I know that we currently have a 10% contract with Lump, if I recall that correctly. Lump, yes. For 10% of the loot from the Cthulhu and cultists loot, so we do know that whatever revenue is to be gained from it, 10% is to go to them. So realistically, the other 90% will be up for grabs, and since some of these people, I believe, are going to want financial gain from this, money is probably not going to be a bad way to go through it.
Mm-hmm. Larger portions to people who offer us larger amounts of soldiers.
Or they deliver, or negotiate as need be. But pleading through logic that that this is the point where we have to look at it and go, we're either going to do this or we're not, and we just tell them the facts. We anticipate approximately 3,600, 900 of it being from Tiamat and 2,700 from Cthulhu, and this is before the summoning of Tiamat.
Right.
If we are successful, we will be able to stop that and it will not progress. But if we fail, those numbers will increase to tens of thousands. As a whole nother realm is at Cthulhu's disposal. If we can convince them through that, and hopefully we'll be able to at least get close enough to be a 1-to-1. But we do know that, we would need ships to at least bring over some of these soldiers that we've already contacted.
I can make ships. I can make a lot of ships.
This is true.
But you need to hire crew and sailors, people that know how to run a ship.
I made friends with the penguins.
Those
I could probably get...
Those penguins are all part of Eugene, I'm sure.
Hey DM, could I convince the penguins to run a bunch of ships?
You can ask.
Anything's worth a shot.
So regardless, we need at least 1739 just to get to what we think is going to be a 1-to-1. But also considering that this is going to be their home field advantage, and we need to plan around that and try and get a cannon assault from the seas to hopefully dwindle numbers. So hopefully someone with a strong naval crew to help make it more palatable for us to get on the islands.
Okay. I'll have to pull up my map to see who has the. I like they have the naval stuff.
I know that Tolus is at least next to water, and considering that they have docks going to and fro, it wouldn't be a negative assumption to think that they may have some influence. I know also the dwarves, I believe.
Well, isn't the on high mountain? We said we should. The dwarves aren't going to have a water-based thing.
No, not them. Further south. I'm trying to.
It's a little red tree area, right? The Brumathan or whatever.
Travis is.
No one has gone there yet.
Didn't we send Dante and Mai and someone in order to like?
That was the No Stars.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll take a look and see who is going to be there, and we can at least raise the question. But this is my perspective on things. I don't know about everyone else.
I mean, I think you rolled it up nicely. I mean, we need to try to convince them to offer us some more troops. We need to convince them to work closely with each other to perform coordinated attacks. And the logical way to convince them to do that is to offer up principal reinforcement, which means that we could pay them. And in my opinion, I think the people that offer us the most soldiers should get the larger portions of the treasure.
Agreed.
In which case, we could possibly pit themselves against a bidding war to try to see who gets more soldiers. They're more worried about getting. I know that's not the ideal game, but like, if we could get some of them to, my dick's bigger than your dick, into giving us more soldiers, I ain't about to turn it down.
We should at least be cautious because we know Vidpig is going to want some of this pie, and we are all aware as to Vidpig's influence in this situation, so we need to be cautious about Vidpig and what his needs are.
I don't like that man.
Neither do I.
Neither do I.
But we need
Same.
to play. We need to play nice. This is now turned into politics, and we need to do everything we can to be diplomatic about it.
Well, I will diplomatically keep my mouth shut and not talk to the man that power word killed me.
I was hoping you forgot about that.
I will also do my best to keep my mouth shut. I know I can get very heated in these kind of situations, so if you guys see me start to get riled up, please restrain me.
So let's go over our talking points again.
Talking points. We need more soldiers in order to stop the threat of Tiamat opening a portal that would literally summon Tiamat. Because we know that once that will happen, Cthulhu will be able to enter through the portal because the sheer size of it is enough for Cthulhu's presence to penetrate. And therefore, when that happens, we will have many more enemies to worry about. It's like putting a cork in a wine bottle that is pouring out.
We're corking up the Cthulhu wine. The Tiamat wine, really. Tiamat
So
wine?
if we can stop that, we have a very strong chance of being successful. And we tell them exactly how many we have. We tell them how much we can anticipate based on our communications with Eugene and his manipulation of the timeline, of a very rough estimate of what that looks like.
Man, you can sell him underneath a bus like that.
I do not pity that fool.
Yeah, figured. Okay.
I'm just Talbot is just very matter of fact about
Yeah, I
the
know.
situation.
Which we love.
So that's and with that, we know that we already have 10% of the loot pledged, but the rest of the 90% is up for grabs for the rest of the kingdoms too. If revenue is what they see. I know I will not be asking for anything as far as this group is concerned. My main concern is making sure that we live at the end of the day.
That is very noble of you, Talbot. But I gotta get paid, too.
Aye, aye, Captain.
I can't hear you, sir.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Oh!
Who lives on a ship with a bunch of penguins? KT.
Captain
Who
KT.
Cause here in... I don't know. I tried.
Okay, so if this group is going to take a portion, we need to know the number. What percentage?
Frankly, I'm gonna take whatever I can get my hands on, so... A relatively small
under the
percentage. I got small hands.
I'm going to be honest. The more that we can use as leverage, the more I don't care about. The less that I see in the end of the day, the better it is for us to be able to use as leverage to see through this. I don't care how much loot that I get at the end of this. What I care about is living at the end of this.
Loot's cool, too. So
Exactly.
I don't care about much.
Exactly. At the end of the day, loot is less valuable than our lives, so the more that we can use as leverage, the better. Once we're done with leveraging and committing, I will take whatever's left behind. But
Yeah, we can split that amongst ourselves.
exactly, this is gonna sound super sappy, so just fucking smack me when I say this.
I love you guys.
As long as I can see you all live at the end of this, I am okay.
I slap him.
Aw.
Yep, exactly what I asked.
Nope.
for. Thank you.
I slap him, but I give him a hug, too.
Aww.
No, stop, please. Okay.
Ah, you're fucking gross.
Shut the fuck up. I didn't. Nope. All right. Yep.
Doc comes out. Gay.
Yeah. Okay. He's my trunk and hug Doc.
Aww.
So, with that, this seems like the way to go for us, and this is what our objective is. Yes?
Yeah.
More for
I'm
me.
not going to want anything out of this massive battle except that I maybe don't have to ever see Eugene again at the end. Or another mimic. Or any of these leaders that don't know how to sacrifice themselves.
Alright,
As
so
long as nope. No.
are you guys all in accord?
Yep. Sure. Yep.
Alright. As you guys have kind of wrapped it up, a penguin just waddles over to you guys,
Oh, hey, what's up?
and he has a button.
A button.
Yep.
I use my trunk and smack the ever living fuck out of it.
Wha-bam! As you do, you let's see. I know you guys can't really see it so much, but in this area here, it is a lot of people. But right now, it's gonna be blank. I just don't want to have to take them off and on again. But at least let me blow you guys this up a little bit.
How's that?
Looks good. There you go. Yeah.
There's the last man.
So, I mean, just so the peeps on Twitch can see,
For sure.
this is empty right now except for Eugene. Actually, I'll get a pencil to kind of be a little better with that.
Yes, excuse me.
Eugene and two figures plus a statue on a throne. Right behind, two pillars, flames, a little heat pit. You guys, though, will be right here. If you want to get closer. And I'll slowly introduce the group at a time.
Well, right where? I'm sorry, I was looking.
It's not good.
I forgot about.
Right here.
Okay. Okay, gotcha.
So if anything, what I'll do is I'll put a D6 for you guys, which is number 1, and then we'll go. You guys will just poof there. No one else is here in the room except for you guys, and then Eugene with his little crystal thing. You can see that he is in his battle-ready attire. And he's just sitting on a table, cross-legged, or have his feet hanging from the table, and just looks at you guys and smile. Hi.
Eugene?
Welcome.
Hey, Eugene, do you have any advice about... Yeah, never mind. Alright, not the time, not the place.
It's okay. Sit tight. Others will stop popping up. Please refrain yourself from attacking them or starting any combat. As I am in... I do not wish to put anyone in their place today. The next group will show up will be Violet's group, which is a group right next to you guys, right here. Violet group is group number 2, which contains Violet herself, Trogdor, Metal, and Donta. Chocolate Blue, hello everyone!
Hey, Dante.
I found another adventuring party!
Long time no see.
Hello Bousta! Hello, Beryl? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, I just forgot if I met you or not. And hello, Talbot. You look blue.
Blue.
Prestidigitation on my face.
You look ugly now.
You want to rephrase that?
What? She looks blue.
You want to rephrase that?
Fine. You look at it, it's beautiful at the morning sky when you take a piss off of a ship.
Beautiful.
I summon my echo in front of Dante.
Oh, the hello, Echo.
I'm gonna give you one last chance. You want to rephrase that?
What?
Dante just said that she looks very nice to me.
Okay, Talbot, you look very nice.
Echo dissipates.
Thanks.
You are welcome. I don't know why that was so difficult to accept.
I don't know why that was so difficult to say.
I did say it 3 times.
You said it very awkwardly.
You're very awkward, man. What's wrong with you?
lot of
To
things.
clarify, it was Violet, Dante, Metal, and
Trogdor,
Trogdor. Thanks.
which is a barbarian. Next one to show up, which would be group number 3, which would be the dwarves. The king is there with his sons. The 4. I do believe he had like 4 of them. He had quite a bit, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
He had 6 children.
6 children. He brought 4 sons. Was just
yeah,
if
Gimli,
you guys have it like
Gimli,
even
Gimli,
out, like
Gimli.
it would just do 4 sons and then others.
Yeah, so Bon, Mergus, Gomer, and Dolpek.
There we go.
I was looking for that list.
What a king.
With,
I liked mine
King
better.
Thurgrim Gruftekirk.
There
Yes,
you go.
there it is.
Kirk.
Rough to cut.
He would be there and he would go, people I know.
They just do like a little curtsy because he's my
The
boyfriend.
one who gave me the painting, is
way
she
down.
here?
She is not in attendance.
Oh, thank God. That painting gave my youngest nightmares. We'll
I
skip
apologize.
the next group. The 5th group, which will be, we're skipping the middle over here, which would be the 5th group over here, is followed by Cora's grandfather, her dad, and 3 others.
Father and dad and 3 others.
Sorry, I'm holding my phone in a very awkward position, so
No, I mean, that
apologize
works.
for my shaky camera work.
3 others.
Which is all 3 of them all Furbolg. I know one is actually a human miniature, but I ran out of Furbolgs.
How dare you?
I know, I'm sorry.
Unprepared.
The 6th one, which will now go into a different set of dice, coloring-ish. Which
Six one.
the 6th group.
I thought 1 is our group, 2nd is Violet's, 3rd is Dwarves, 4 is Core.
We skipped 4.
Skip 4. Skipped 4 and 5 was Cores.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And
I missed that.
as these all, as just want to, as all these groups are appearing, the little orb thing right here is saying their names out loud. So they're appearing one at a time, being introduced. And as they land, you can safely assume, because it looks like they're still listening, that once they land, they're hearing your introductions as well.
Gotcha.
Then we go to the next group in the corner over here, which is Leander's group. You have Leander plus 4 other chieftains. You guys recognize them because you saw them in his tent.
You're moving the floor.
Sorry.
Bousta!
I'm trying to like hold my elbow
It's
steady so I can get a good view of it.
It works. I mean, I like the way you had it the first time.
Oh yeah, but it's hard in his hand.
Ah,
Yeah.
there. All right. 6, number 7. Apparently number
As you're
8.
throwing dice.
Right. Number 7 will be Sanguine. And his No Star brothers. Hey everyone. I'm Sanguine. Sanguine Dawn Strider. Nice to meet you.
Hey, Sanguine.
That would be him.
This one here and use my camera. We'll set.
That works. Yeah.
And then number 8, which would be this group over here, are the representators of Tolus, which goes to Copper, followed by Gangrith as well. May I is amongst them. Sirius is there as well. And then our lovely companion who fell in love with Iris. I do believe his name is Jeff.
Jeff.
Yeah.
Copper, Gangrith, Sirius, May I, and Jeff.
Jeff.
And Jeff.
D&D, 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 and American.
Our
And
ninth
Jeff.
group.
Oh, the camera went. Why did the camera go?
Oh, it froze.
We
It's
changed cameras.
Barrels.
My camera's
Camera.
a little easier on it because it's easier.
It
to
just
hold and drop
freezes. Right over here, if the camera, there you go.
Yeah,
Over
it's
here
on.
in the corner with some lovely orcs. Is gonna be the orcs who attacked Greenest.
Awkward.
They are there as well. The orc leader would be the one in front. It is Doug the Lethal.
Doug the Lethal.
Random generator.
Say
Hey,
it one more
Dad.
time.
Doug the Lethal.
Doug the Lethal. Okay.
Then you're gonna have 10 and 11 like in the same area because I did run out of space.
So, is 10 a separate group and 11 a separate group?
Correct. They're just in the same corner.
Gotcha.
Group number 10 is gonna be the Drow. They are about the one who is gonna be the leader is going to be. I'll just hand that to you. See if you can pronounce that name. D&D generator.
Amlerson Comrail.
Why didn't you just D&D generate an easier name?
I rolled, and that's what it is.
Amlerson, Anlursn. Comrail, or Cormrail. Cormrael.
Cornrail.
Rael. Cormrail.
ANLURSN.
Correct.
Cornrail.
Cormrail. Cormrael. Cormrail.
Amlerson.
Amlerson, indeed.
And
That is-
then the
I'll just
last
write it in the
group.
Discord.
I didn't think about it. The 11th group will be of Azamars. And the leader's name is.
Yeah, well, I love ASMR.
Is Etridar, EATREIDAR. Etridar. This episode of Let Your Players fucking pronounce the hard names for you because you don't want to.
So that would come in, and then as Eugene looks around, he goes, and last but actually we're missing 2. Hopefully one of them show up first, which number 4 shows up with a which is right here, which is our favorite hateable NPC who brought his own chairs Vidpick, sitting in that little chair before he makes his descent. Followed by Adkara. Oh my god. I forgot her name. Amethyst, thank you.
It's a rock name I remembered.
Amethyst, Tetsu, and
Tetsu.
our one and only favorite tank.
I'm right here.
Do you want to say her name?
Huh?
Do you want to say your character's name?
Nonagon.
Nonagon!
Gosh,
She teamed up with Vidpick.
not me. Remember that.
Yep. So Tetsu and Nonagon joined Vidpick. Vidpick would just sit there and just look at everyone. He is elevated because he brought his own little things. Amethyst looks over at Gangris and gives him a little hey. Then looks at the rest of you and just flips you off.
What did I do?
Vidpick just looks around.
I apologize. I don't know how this machine worked.
It's okay. I understand. Not being able to raise a child properly gives you the dickish.
Yeah, not being able to raise your sins properly definitely gives that sack to you too, huh? Doesn't it?
Yeah, it fits his character.
Well, if you don't like somebody, you can just unalive them.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know my warm up can speak.
I'm sensing a lot of hostility in this room.
Usually we go. We're waiting for one last one.
Someone hold me back before I throw my hammer at this motherfucker.
And then the 12th and final group, will be Typhon's group, which is known as the Sins.
Oh, I turned my camera off.
Oh, speak of the devils, and they shall appear.
Typhon will appear first, and it will say Typhon, known as the Sin of Envy, followed by the former Sin of Gluttony, Iris. Then we have the Sin of Greed, Vera, which is a white tiefling with gold. Vera, sorry. This is a white tiefling with gold on her sides, or throughout her skin. Vidpick the Wrath Sin. Pride. Vera.
Vera Gluttony. Iris, former Gluttony. Typhon, Envy, Vidpick, Wrath. Sorry, go ahead.
Pride, which is Mayai's little sister.
Priscilla.
Priscilla
was the name that Mayai gave as a cover-up. I don't remember her actually.
She's keeping it. Which is over there as well. And then you have Lust and Sloth as well. Lust would be... I'm going to spell it. Phehiri.
Pariah?
Sounds about right. Pariah. And then Sloth would be Urmog.
Urmog?
Yeah, Urmog.
Okay.
And Vidpick looks over at the Sins. Typhon goes, well, this is a day. Oh, hey guys, since you guys are right next to the Sins. Well, this is a day and age that it's been so long since the 6 Sins have gathered in one place. Anyone mind telling us exactly what this is for? I'm kidding, we know. But to fill in everyone else, Eugene, do you like to take over? Oh, yes, I would, but Beryl went to the restroom really quick, so we're going to hold on. Okay.
Barrett's been here the whole time.
Oh, my God, sorry.
You know, I don't expect anything less from Eugene.
Actually.
Talk about me.
Before I introduce myself, I'll introduce the person on my left, Jebediah Bone Razor. And then
Hi, I'm Jebediah.
in a more human form, for the current moment, we have Babylon of the Laughing Chains. They will each bow, respectively.
I'll bow back. That's respect.
You guys can clearly hear them as though they were talking in your heads. You can safely assume that your Irenes are being as a speaker. Before he gets started, he will pound his staff on the ground, and a barrier will surround everyone here.
Yeah, you couldn't figure out how to do that.
A barrier around each
As a whole.
individual group, or okay.
Just as a whole. We are here to discuss only any form of, no matter which group it is. If I don't like it, I will put you in your place and not hesitate. We're here to discuss the upcoming battle, which some of you may or may not believe is actually a thing due to the barrier. But let me reassure you that it is a true thing. And he will wave his hand, and in the center will appear what I described before in the sky and in the barrier. You can see a lot of faces are taken back by this, because obviously they didn't believe, because a random group of people just said one thing and they were supposed to expect to believe it. The dwarfs and dwarven mutter to themselves, and same with everyone else mutters respectively to themselves.
And I take the moment while this is occurring to try and pick up what groups were not surprised.
Vidpick, Sanguine's group, the Sins, you guys, Violet. Pretty much that's about it.
Mainly because I was pretty sure I knew who was surprised, but
Yeah.
wanted to see if anybody else wasn't surprised.
Yep. He goes, I put to the task to assemble you all this party over here, led by Core, which contains Core, Bousta, Beryl, Talbot, and KT.
Captain KT.
Captain KT, you gave yourself a title.
Hell yeah, I did. I have a ship.
Oh. You were going to ask me for that?
I just assumed you were going to give it to me.
That's fair enough.
I even got a name for it.
Yeah, all yours.
Yes.
Thank you for bringing these leaders, or what you could, to this meeting spot. I am grateful. May I ask how much everyone, if they promise you people, how much is total? I don't need to know who promised what, I just would like a total count.
I can provide that. The total that we have right now is 1,865.
Okay. One something. And that statue behind him will show that information and put us, and then it'll show them with a 3,504 count.
604.
Sorry, 604. 604.
Pardon my handwriting.
It's all good. So we are at least about halfway there. So it's a 2-on-1. Now here comes.
More than 51.
Yeah. Here comes the truth of the matter. Is it will be a difficult fight, but we need more out of each and every one of you. Whether it's rulers or adventurers, this will take many more people to defeat. But we do have a way to stop this. And that is with the help of core and her staff. Or the staff that she has brought. That will weaken Tiamat, and with some magic I have provided will weaken her further. Which will give whatever group is assigned the middle islands the chance to defeat and send her back to hell. Which that will help close the portal and hopefully seal her away for the next thousands of years. Which hopefully by that time I could create a more permanent prison for her. If we do fail, not only will Tiamat rise, but also Cthulhu. We are, in a sense, fighting two gods. And the number I have up there as the 3,604 is what I calculated when I was in the barrier as their vanguard. I don't know what they have as reserves or what they have in store. I was greatly injured as I was in there, and that was the best I can do. Once we go in there, there will be no coming out until Tiamat is slain and put back in her prison. And hopefully sealed for good. Is anyone confused on the objective?
While he's doing this, while he's making the speech and everything, I'd like to cast tongues on myself so that I can understand what the other groups are saying if they decide to talk amongst themselves.
Smart.
Okay.
Good.
And then, being the small person that I am, I'm going to leave my group and wander around the back edge of the wall, just like looking for if anyone tries to notice me, I'm just looking for water. Do you have water tables anywhere? But really, I'm just going around to see if anybody's discussing things amongst themselves.
The moment you get to any group, they stop talking.
Even as the walk up, even people who are speaking their own language.
Well, they stop speaking once Eugene starts to speak. But if you walk by Fitpick, he might have a couple words for you.
I mean, I'm making my way around the room. I had to pass him eventually, but...
No, I'm just kidding. Not this time.
I mean, I really don't acknowledge anyone. I don't want them to understand. I don't want them to know I'm talking. I can hear them, but... Looking for water.
Eugene will wave his hand, you get a mug of water.
I lock eyes, do I know it's from him?
Yeah, you clearly.
Pour it out and put it down and keep walking.
Beryl, will you please go back to your group?
You didn't put out any refreshments.
I thought what I put out this morning for everyone would suffice, but if you'll like some water, just please ask.
I don't want water from you, and I go back to my group.
Ouch. So, and he will then wave his hand, and all the numbers you guys collected will pop up right in front of everyone. So it is known who has donated.
Okay.
What orcs have not yet, Drow has not. Sorry, Drow number is 5.
5 whole drow.
Just 5 whole Drow. Azamar are 12. They have donated 12.
Okay, so let me find this. Drow 5. Azamars
12.
12.
The North Stars have not done any. Leander has his 500 he selected. Tolis has not done any, except for above Gangreth. It's 75 plus other 75, which makes a 150. So above Gangers would be 150.
Oh, so Tolus was able to get another 75?
Yeah, from the church. You can assume that
Okay.
Gangris's plan, or the captain's plan, worked. But that number is only above Gangris. It is not above what the other numbers are.
Okay. So Gangrith's numbers are separate from the overall total.
Correct. Typhon has not donated. Violet has donated 4,
Okay.
which is all 4 of them.
Yeah.
And then obviously the dwarves have done the 75 of the Roughnecks. Core's family has done the 500, Leander 500, and so on.
And Vidpick 900.
And Vidpick 900. Vidpick looks around and goes, not surprising. And you guys, nothing.
That doesn't count ourselves?
You have not officially, in this room, stated yourselves.
Oh.
Oh.
You have gathered. You never officially has actually, and I guess writing, whatnot.
I will at least pledge myself to be in it.
Pledge myself.
Yeah, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you guys will get a number 5. Because we never included you guys up there.
Okay.
That's why.
Us 5. So we're looking at 1966.
Good year.
Eugene will say, there might be more adventurers willing to join us. But if it's just single parties, it's not much we can do. We can just separate them amongst the bigger parties when the time comes. That being said, you may find adventurers you have adventured with before, or adventurers that you never met before. Either way, if they show up, know that they are ally and not foe. Unless they try to kill you. Well, in that case, blame Barrel. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Just a joke. Just a joke. That being said, would anyone like to offer more men? More women? More fighting bodies?
I look around. Is anybody even like is anybody dodging like looks? Like
They're standing strong. Everyone else is looking around. Vidpick will go, oh, I'll donate another 900. If... Oh, what can I get for this? Ooh.
I try and make direct eye contact with Vidpick.
If Bousta kisses my boot.
Done.
Well, that doesn't seem so gratifying now.
Oh, I am sorry. Let me rephrase that. Oh, no, never. How could I ever repay you, the mighty Vidpick? Oh, the tragedy of having to succumb to you. Oh, I could never. What?
Okay, you can.
I'll just take that back then.
No, you already put it on the table. No, don't pull it back now.
It's my men. I can do what I want.
And it's you trying to torment me by all means.
Oh yeah, but
Let's go down this road. Let's play this
you want to
game.
go down? You want to play this room?
Bousta?
just put out and like
Oh, is that collar? Is that leash of yours pink? Looks pretty cute on you.
Thanks. It's custom fit. You want to try it on yourself?
Nah.
By all means, I think pink's your color.
Bousta,
I have spotted
Bousta,
many
don't-
colors in my day.
How about black and blue?
Bousta, we're gonna have to go outside for a minute. We can't just rein it back a little bit. We all know he's evil. I mean, right now he's offering the most amount of men because everybody else in here couch.
The king will say, do you think it's wise, the Dwarven King, wise to insult us, young dwarf?
What is wise is to protect the land on which we stand from certain evil and inevitable death. I would never assume that I knew what was wise other than that.
Well, then I suggest you don't insult everyone here.
Well, I would suggest that only people at this meeting need to be people who are actively trying to save the world. And if you don't intend to put up men, perhaps you should just go because you're not going to help.
Beryl, please.
Well, in that case...
Beryl.
No, if he's not going to help, he should just leave. He's just wasting our time.
You need to all calm down now. Beryl and I'm blanking on his.
Bousta.
You guys need to cool down. Take a step out.
Is there a door to go outside or anything?
No, there's no exit.
I sit behind the party and like just chug some type of mug of like whenever it's available. If nothing's available, I just kind of glance at Eugene and he I assume apparates me a mug of ale after the situation that we had the other day.
You'll wave it.
And I just just kind of sheepishly hide behind the rest of the party and chug it.
I'm sorry. Travis needs to look up the name of the person that he made the contract with for 10%. I think his name was Lump.
Yep.
Yeah, Lump. And Talbot will say, well, I do know from our group specifically that there was an agreement made between Lump and their group and ours, and we already have a contract for 10% of whatever loot there may be from this if we are to survive.
And where is this lump? The Dwarven King will say.
Where is this lump? I do not know. Talbot will go, admittedly, I do not know where they are right now. But I will absolutely get in contact with them because it's time to go.
They have yet to show up, but yet they expect a profit.
I'm trying to remember. This was around Plays of Evil Core when we were talking about. Peter, are you able to help me remember Lump in their group?
Lump was.
Lump's a half-orc.
Yeah, he's a half-orc cleric. He was with Axel and another tiefling.
Tide and Redguard.
Yeah, so they are our other adventurers, I do believe.
Yeah, because they told us about an artifact in the house that can help. And I remember them saying that they would come and help.
Correct. Eugene did state that other adventurers may show up, so remembering that Eugene will pop in and goes, if he is part of the other adventurers that will be popping in and out or assisting where needed, I will discuss that current contract. But for the time being, let's not worry about it. Since he has not decided to show up with his group, his contract or the deal he made with you will be null and void.
And then I take out the contract and use...
I just not ripping it up. Keep it, but...
No, I was going to give it to... I was just going to give it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't going to tear it.
Fuck this contract!
No, I was going
Useless.
to use Mage Hand to just deliver the letter
Okay.
to Eugene.
He'll take it, and then he'll store it in his pocket or pouch.
Because at that point, it's now Eugene's problem.
Yeah.
It's no longer mine.
Correct. So we are typing go. So we are currently at 1966.
Well, gee, and I look over at the doors. I wonder who could help with that number.
Beryl.
Yeah,
Barrel.
you should ask your people. They might be up for getting slaughtered.
And this is King Gruftakirk that is speaking.
Gruff to Kirk. Yes.
I turn around and look at my party of 5. Are we ready to die? Yeah?
Born
Okay.
ready.
Great.
Sorry.
I asked my people, we're ready to go.
Well, if you
King-
have 5, we will donate 5. We'll match it.
It's more than we had before.
Can you match our quality though?
No, we will donate 5 peasants.
Ah. Wow. All right.
Okay.
Proud
So
people.
we have 5 pledged from King Gruftakirk. So thank you for that. That puts our number at 1971. King Gruftakirk,
Yes.
since you were the one that actually did decide to show up, I would be willing to post this to the group, but if a certain percentage of whatever loot we may find go to you, would you be willing to put in more men?
Depending on how further this conversation goes, or if we get further disrespected, maybe not.
I assure you, my liege, that will not be happening again.
So then your dwarf will never speak again during this meeting.
The spokespeople for this particular group are Core and myself, and so it would be as such.
Well, if we keep it that way, we will reconsider donating a bit more.
I really wish I had disguised self. Wouldn't be
Bousta's like sharpening his hammer, like trying to do whatever to keep himself busy to where he doesn't chime in, because Bousta knows as soon as he's about to pop off, he's gonna probably fuck shit up or fuck the situation up, and he's trying his best to just keep himself preoccupied as all this is happening. So he's like either cleaning off his hammer or sharpening off the edges, like trying to do something to keep himself busy, because he knows that like he's about to
I
pop
didn't do
off.
anything. I just was on Hero Forge.
Oh.
Okay, so we have Violet's adventuring group. They have they have pledged 4. We have 5 from King Gruftakirk. We have 315 pledged from group number 5. We have 500 pledged from group number 6. Sanguine and the North Stars. What say you?
Sanguine will look around and ask, do we not have a representative words from the Dragon Slayers?
We do not.
That is a bit of a shame. But I think it might be for the best. I don't think our 2 groups will get along fighting side by side. So as long as they are out of this, I think we can donate. I don't like that the pick has 900 men on the table, but unfortunately, we, as most possibly people here, were attacked by the avatars. But with part resistance in my order and part of the order, the total we can donate is 750.
750. With that, we can probably say with certainty that we will not be asking the Dragon Slayers for assistance, since you are putting up quite a sizable amount of people for the war effort. I know I only speak on behalf of our group, and so I would be agreeable to that if everyone else is.
You can see a unanimous kind of like nod to it.
Okay, so this is group 7. Okay, so that will put us at 1, 2,
Push you at
2,000,
sorry.
2,721.
Mm-hmm.
Next group, Tollis, Copper, Thereus, May I, Jeff, and Gingrich.
Oh, it's good to see you again, Talbot.
What about you?
Well, after being one of the largest cities here, well, actually, being one of the only metropolises here, and having a vast resources, we or the council has dictated that it is only reasonable and fair that we will match a average or unanimous of what the total is of donations. So, what I mean by that is, if the average donation is 500, we will match. But if the average donation is 5, then we will match as well.
Bro,
Okay.
do you have common motions?
I do.
Please cast it on me. I'm going to willingly subject to it because I swear to the gods I'm going to pop off on
Okay.
everybody here.
So,
I got you.
so that means, so let us return back to you, Copper, just so that we can get the other numbers finalized before we can come up with an average. I would think that is agreeable.
I do too. Question would be, who would be funding this? Who would be supplying it as well? We can offer up men, but without payment or supplies, all these soldiers are useless.
Funding wise, the only way I can see about it is I know most of us, or at least this particular group, we don't have the funds to pay for it, but if money is what you need in order for it to happen, what about a percentage of the loot?
Vidpick will step up and go, I'll fund it. Obviously on a condition.
And what condition is that?
Oh, well, I've already got almost everything I need.
For context, Beryl will cast calm emotions on me, and I am like fully meditating in the background of the party.
For more context, that spell, regardless of who I test it on, has a 20 sphere radius, so it's probably also got violence group.
Bousta voluntarily like submits to.
Yeah, the rest will resist though.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not pushing it on nobody by no means, but
As like Bousta is very like
except for
calmly
maybe
like
the king of the doors. No.
sipping the ale, which like by the end of the ale just turns to like chamomile tea, like something very calming. Like after the ale is finished, it turns into like tea, like something just very calming. And Bousta's like literally like cross-legged, just sitting in the back of the party, trying to just hold his shit together.
Well, I would like a test subject. Someone who is sturdy, strong. Doesn't matter from which region. I mean, preferably maybe a Furbolg. Of renowned bloodline. But if not, I'll take an angel. The ASMR just look and not answer it.
It's all
No?
good. Fate of the world. It's fine.
I'm going to assume that with the silence of the room, no one is willing to accept that as...
They, Gangris will go, well, what exactly test subject for? I think everyone is waiting for you to at least explain a little bit more detail before we voluntarily off one of our own. That's fair, Pacific. Well, you see, he pulls out a little box. I need someone to become the sin of gluttony as well. I have one out. I now need to test another. Any takers?
To my understanding, I thought the sins were supposed to be tieflings.
They are.
He's trying
He wants to
expand.
find out if it'll work with others.
He also, which reveals that he has more than one sin of gluttony. Which there's only should be one.
He's learned how to split them.
Is the fact that there can only be one sin, or should only be one sin, common knowledge in the group? That I can't remember. off the top of my head.
We've only discussed the fact that there's only been one of each that we've known about. Duplicates is a new thing.
Correct. And if anyone looks over at the sins, so just angrily eyeballing him.
Can I see theories from across the room?
Yeah, she is
How is she reacting?
backing up and breaking into a cold sweat.
Where and how did you get another sin?
And that's my information. But would you like to be the test subject? I mean, one Kenku's fun enough, but having two...
I don't like the thought of being owned.
Oh no, you just let it live with you for he spends it a year. And then I get the data back.
And when you're done with the data,
I keep it for myself.
and what happens to them?
Well, as long as they don't die before the year is over, nothing. Sorry, only for that. Should be nothing.
So they get to continue to live free lives without any sort of side effects from your experiments.
As
That
long
linger.
as they don't tamper with it or kill themselves before the year is over, yeah, it should come out just fine.
Fuck it, let's do it.
I'd like to remind you how much effort we took getting these things out of Iris and Thereus. It's not like he's just going to take it away from you. You're going to have to get it removed.
It's either that or we run the risk of all dying.
And then he doesn't get what he wants anyways.
So either way, he wins.
No, I mean, if he doesn't
Either
get it
wins
now,
or we all lose.
we're all going to lose anyways because certain parties aren't willing to put up their share.
Beryl.
And I'll put up
I'm
my
not
share
talking to
for
the
them.
room. I'm talking to a person.
And that's why I'm putting up my share for them. I can be the bigger man, quote unquote. Considering I'm probably I look
Shortest
around,
one.
the shortest one here.
Oh, besides May I, but yeah. Oh, and a child. Yeah.
So
You're about the shortest one here.
I would know that the dwarves are inherently wealthy, though. Like, even if they weren't willing to put up manpower,
Of course.
they could pay for things if they wanted to.
Yeah, I mean dwarves who live in mountains are typically wealthy because they mined or
Right.
if it's mithril involved or gold vine. Yeah, they're usually
From
inherently
the
wealthy.
discussion with Vidpick, paying attention to the dwarves specifically, are they making any kind of reactions or any kind of like derision of like sullying somebody's like race with like the sin? Like, are they showing any kind of like any like?
are they being racist?
I mean, yeah, but like at that point, like, are they showing like any little bit of like pride that a dwarf hasn't succumbed to this? Because I mean, Vidpick's got an array of races here with him.
Correct.
And it's obvious that he's trying to, build up more races. So, like, I'm looking to see if they're showing any interest, derision, or disdain, and an arrogance maybe that, dwarves haven't, you haven't gotten a dwarf to do that yet.
It's more of
Are
confusion.
there any Gimlis in the group?
A little bit of confusion because they have no idea what he's talking about. They don't know what a sin is. Because remember, the only ones who know really what a sin is the party and Vidpick and Eugene. Slightly Violet group knows what a sin is, but you can assume the Azamar know just because of the holy ancestry. But other than that, everyone else who's not part of the party or was told otherwise have no idea what a sin is. So Leander wouldn't know because he wasn't there when the sins happened. The Orcs Drow wouldn't know. Tolis wouldn't know unless you guys told them. Cord's family wouldn't know unless you guys told them. So there's not many people here who actually know what a sin is.
Gotcha. Sorry, remember this is Vidpick we're talking to, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And due to what Tetsu's background was, Kenkus are very rare. So a dwarf is an easy commodity.
Right, I wasn't gonna appeal to Vidpick more.
No, I know, but you can if you're going on the train of thought is, oh, how come a dwarf is not stepping up, and how come he didn't ask a dwarf?
No, I didn't. I knew why he wasn't asking the
Okay.
dwarf. I was just more like I was gonna see if I couldn't play that off them and be like, well, if the dwarves won't,
Oh, okay.
if they won't offer men, maybe I can,
Yeah,
disdain
they just
them into offering money.
they have no idea what a sin is.
All
So
right.
they're just looking to see how this plays out.
So, if I house this, I'm gonna assume it's synthetic. A synthetic sin? A synth?
See, I knew I would like you. If you ever want a proper job, I'm always hiring.
If I house this for you
1 year.
for the 1 year, are you going to affect my life or any of my friends' lives directly or indirectly in that course?
As long as your friends do not directly or indirectly affect my life. For that 1 year. Or any of my properties, or allies, or acquaintances that
about-
I have made along the way.
How about we just rein that back into me, because I can't promise that for them. Especially the big guy.
That's fair. I can't wait for the day if we are to spar.
His Bousta is like literally like just eyes closed, just sipping the tea.
Well, for you, I can, year. As long as you stay alive for 1 year.
That's all I have to do, stay alive for 1 year.
Pretty much. I will come and find you, or I'll send a represent. Oh my god, it's word.
Representative.
Thank you. I don't know why everyone's having trouble with this one word.
Ka.
To extract the sin from you.
Only you seem to be having trouble with this word.
That's not good.
Making fun of the DM. I'm leaving. We'll come and extract it for you, and then that'll be it.
Player question. Anyone in the immediately group, have they had a sin extracted for them?
The only one, no, actually the two only ones is Iris and
Smiling.
Smiley.
Okay.
They have, so a non-tiefling has never had one extracted from them.
A non-tiefling has never had one in them from our party knowledge.
Correct.
Well, until now, I guess, but
So, because everyone over here in the sin group is a tiefling.
Alright. Let's do it.
Typhon will look, are you sure you want to make a deal with the devil?
I feel like I already have, considering everything that's happened to me.
Enough of this. I'm not going to put a party member in danger over someone that does not care for well-being. I apologize for the disrespect that you have received here. We are all not really in our feelings, but this is a very sensitive subject. It does not just involve one party. So I implore you, and I implore everyone in the room, This is not just, again, a one-party issue. This is a world issue. If Tiamat comes, it becomes real and comes to fruition, and we do not succeed in this mission, Cthulhu will come and will destroy everything. Nothing will be left. Your daughters, your sons, your children, your neighbors, everyone you know will be gone. There will be nothing left. So I implore everyone in this room, please, for the sake of your people, for the sake of your, help us save the world.
Copper will interject with, well, that may be the case, but if we win, still nothing left because we've lost our people. We need to have a positive outcome of this.
And if you lose,
And
then
that is
nobody's
what,
left alive.
and this is what we are here to discuss.
This is correct. We are discussing funding, rewards, men,
Reward is your life.
and everything. Some of us are neighbors, and some of us could want to take advantage of weakened forces after this war. There's many things we got to consider before sending hundreds or thousands into a war. Most of us do not have pact or peace treaties against each other or with each other.
Then allow that to happen here and now. In order for us to save each other, we must have peace between all of us.
And how do you suggest that to happen? How do you suggest we split, say, gold? Or how do you suggest...
The Fearbold people do not require gold. Our people do not find this concept of an intangible thing important. So we, the Fearbold people, do not need compensation over something that is going to help the world, whether that be gold.
Okay, so you subtracted one party out of 11. And each party has not given up an equal amount of resources or supplies or manpower. Should we divvy up a bare minimum? What would your party like to see us rulers divvy up in manpower? Should we everyone divvy up 500? Does Tolis need to supply ships, magical items, healing potions, cannons, powders, herbs?
I would prefer everyone to
Me
divvy
too.
up a minimum.
I don't know how Congress can do this every day.
However,
Yeah.
if it would please people to get more of a percentage of whatever there is, depending on what they offer to the table, that would bring an incentive for people to bring in more. It could be a percentage based thing, if we so choose for it to be.
And what would that percentage be, Wise Talbot?
Let us say, for example, right now we have 2,721.
Correct. As a vanguard.
Yes.
Or less than as a vanguard, because if our total forces is that...
We're just doing a rough estimate, just
Okay.
so that so I can attempt to get across what I'm theorizing. And of course, people may disagree with this, which is fine.
Well,
But if we take, for example, Group 7, Sanguine and the North Stars, who are offering 750 of their soldiers out of the possible out of the total number that are in the pot, which is 2,721. Currently, they are putting in 27.5% of the total amount of people and total amount of effort. If we were to do this by percentage based on the group, they would receive 27.5% of whatever loot that may come across.
okay, so what you're saying is whatever you put in, you get out.
Yeah. So I'm also going to do one more example.
Okay.
Group number 3, or I will gesture to the drows, because they're not group number 3, but I'll
The
gesture
draws
to
are
the
group
drows.
number 10.
Yeah. So, group 10 is putting in a total of 5. Out of the possible, they would be getting less than 1% of whatever loot that may come across, based on the fact that they are supplying 5 out of the total 2,721. So this way it is proportionally fair to what is being brought to the table. So those that put in more obviously should have more stake in whatever loot there may be, and those that put in less will not get as much from it.
And what about if you can't put up to 750?
Then whatever number that you put in, it will be based on that number alone in a percentage format. Because this is not a final number. This is just what we have right now. So it's not. This is not final.
Which is fair, but it seems like one side of this is putting up more than the other. Are we to assign everyone who is not a ruler or a leader as a general? Because you are not giving up your people. You're assigning your own life. You're volunteering. So do we put you party of adventurers under someone? Do we make adventurers our generals?
I'm sorry. I'm confused as to where this conversation is heading, because it seems that we're going into a different conversation. Is that correct?
Well, a little bit. I understand your hypothetical percentage. It's if it's a unanimous decision of everyone putting in 750, or if you can't put 750 to put it in, and say all the kingdoms put in the 750. Well, 750 we've put in, but we look around and others only have put in 5, 4, 7, 6.
Then they get considerably less. And if it... So...
Which is understandable, getting considerably less. But since you are not a ruler, nor are sacrificing others' lives, why don't we put the people who are individual contractors under someone? So they may fight with those people we are offering up.
So what he wants you to do is he wants you to beef his smaller number with adventurers. So he doesn't have to offer up more of his own people.
Adventurers are powerful allies. Tolus's adventurers, if this conversation goes well, are staying at Tolus in order to protect them from any outside forces. And it would make the most logical sense of having adventurers be generals. You are quite powerful individuals. Even as rulers, sometimes we don't have the capability you all have. We gain our power due to political sway. I myself cannot simply just lift up a building over my head or suplex a giant.
Wish I could do that.
Or summon ki from my hands or breathe fire from my mouth.
I can do that.
Some rulers just can't. So since you are only offering up yourselves or your party, why not have you serve under someone as a general?
And what would you recommend?
Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. About 7 rulers or representative with people at the current moment. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups that are just adventurers or small parties. The 5 can choose out of 7 which they serve and act as generals. And Eugene will wave his hand and show the island. And show that, the head of the island is where the main focus, or at the very top is where the ritual is going to head, but they have to make their way through 5 tentacles, shape islands. So, we can split the forces, or we can have 5 of the rulers take each an island path, while the other 2 are reserved. And then that's the way we can split up the rest of you, whether we need you up there as a lieutenant, general, or something else. Healers, doctors, scryers if magic allows, bombardment if those who can cast fireball.
I will, I do not think that it is a bad idea. But wanting to keep transparency, as I think that is important during these times. No matter which group, if we were to pledge to one, we have to be in the middle. Because we carry a device that is specifically targeting Tiamat and making them weak. And we have been doing this for months. So with the understanding of wherever we end up, we need to go in the center.
Vic will okay that. He'll nod I'm fine with that. Cord's grandfather will be hesitant at it, but the deal they made, then he will nod in agreement. Leander will nod in agreement per the deal you guys made. Sanguine will go volunteer to be in the middle as well to back you guys up. You hear no other disagreement from the other 2, 8 and 9. But if that's the case, if you all are fine with being generals, or I guess in the case one person in your party would become a general, the others would become lieutenants, why don't we knock off the rest of your guys' parties and have you serve, and then from there the leaders can talk.
Talbot, may I speak?
Yes, Bousta, what is it?
I look around at the groups. You do realize that whatever happens after this, the more that you want to hold back, the more that you want to try and wager and bet, the more that you're not only putting your own people but the entire world at stake. Right? You understand the more you're trying to wager and bet, the more that you're putting your own people at risk. And I know volunteering your own people is a risk within itself, but if you're not willing to play your part, you're throwing the entire world away. I understand wanting to hold your people at stake. By God, I've sacrificed my own life and the lives of my kin far beyond my own lifetime just to secure these deals, just to get you guys at these tables. Some of you may understand that, some of you may not, and I kind of like glance at Leander as I'm saying that. But we've sacrificed so much just to get you guys here. Now it's your guys' time to act. If you want to hide, if you want to try and negotiate, there's only so much we can negotiate with our own lives in the future at stake. But at the end of the day, if you don't want to buy into your own people's safety and to the world's safety, that's on you. But what I can guarantee of myself and my friends is that we're here and we will risk our lives to save you all. Now the question is if you're willing to do the same. I am going to fight to protect my friends and to protect your lives, your family's lives, and generations beyond them. Now, are you willing to do the same for your own kin? I look at the dwarves. For you. You want to preserve your land? You want to preserve your kin, preserve your way of life? How are you going to do that if everyone dies? I look at Vidpick. How are you going to make deals with people if no one's left to live? And I just go on. Like,
yeah, just hit it where
exactly. I'll just,
except for the people you don't know.
Well, no, like I'll go on to the orcs. Like I'll play to the hearts of like what they seem to want from my perspective of just going on each and every group. Like, in the end of the day, you're not going to be able to get what you want if you're not willing to fight for it. And you're willing to fight for it on a smaller scale when land's at stake, when money's at stake. But at the end of the day, everybody's life's at stake. If you don't fight for it now, there's no point in fighting at all.
Well, it's easier for someone to say that who hasn't ruled or do not command people that they have to be responsible for. Copper is the one saying this. I
have already sacrificed my life and generations beyond my life
in
order to make this happen. You can ridicule me and you can ridicule my choices to get me to this point, but I have sacrificed more than you can understand to just get you guys at this fucking table.
Congratulations on doing so. Which, till this day, most of us don't even know who you are. But I suggest that my proposal was fair enough. You are all strong individuals. There's no arguing that. I don't exactly know what the sins are of their deal, but individually there are strong people. So why not make use of you strong individuals and having you each be a general serving one of us?
And you're telling me that you have no strong individuals within your ranks, that you are just going to simply rely on us to carry the burden for you? We're already carrying enough of a burden as it is to get you here and to get you through this.
A ruler can have more than one general. You'll be part of the war council of each individual strip of island that we are taking. Or you could be part of the council as a reserve.
And who do you suggest, if we take part in that, is going to take care of Tiamat themselves?
Well, as Talbot suggested, you guys have to go down the middle.
Correct.
Which, whoever one of these rulers would like to take the middle, they can discuss that. Or we as rulers can discuss that. And then you will be part of their army, adding to their numbers. in which, from looking at y'all are very capable. So that was just boosted their strength, and probably save lives. Is that not a bad suggestion? Would that not make more sense? We're not telling you who to choose, who to serve. It would be up to you. You can simply choose someone you know, or you can choose someone who who donates the most.
Then how about this? You offer your services, whatever you guys can handle, whatever you guys can support, whatever you guys can provide. Everyone is going to put in as much as they can reasonably offer. I'm not asking everyone to risk their entire people's lives. It's not what I want in the end of this realm. What I do want is for everybody at this table to see it through to the end of this war.
Well, what Eugene has already said, once we go in, we can't go out. But we do need to discuss the minute details, which I think as rulers should be discussed amongst only rulers, and not third parties.
You're asking these third parties to be rulers within your people, are you not?
I'm asking you to serve in our armies that we are providing.
You're asking us to be generals within your armies, to be rulers within your people. You're asking us to trust your people's lives within our hands.
Which I think is fair, since you have a seat at this meeting.
And I agree with you, but are you not going to give us that same respect as those types of rulers to be able to weigh in on those conversations?
Since your group have shown disrespect in a very brief moment or so, we can at least, if we see who you decide to pick, if they would like to keep you at the table, and let them keep you at the table.
Let me reassure you, I do not mean any type of disrespect. And if I have come off as disrespectful, I sincerely apologize. What I intend to do here is ensure the safety of everybody here and the peoples of this land. And if that means ruffling some feathers, if that means showing that type of disrespect, I sincerely apologize. But at the end of the day, I want to see everybody here and the families, the children of these people at this table. I want to see them through this day, through this war. And I will support whoever is willing to support that cause.
Well, you have seen what people are willing to offer.
Yes.
So, if everyone's in agreement with making the ones who have the least amount of people to offer up, lieutenants, generals, commanders in their army alongside their others, why don't we have each group of you guys decide where to go?
Well, let's see after this conversation if anyone else wants to offer up more support and more people due to this cause, and we'll proceed from there. And I back up and hide, basically kind of hide behind the rest of the party before I pop my lid, and just kind of make eyes at Eugene, appear another cup of tea to try and.
He just gives you a barrel.
Yeah, exactly. And I just start fucking chugging as I'm trying to like calm everything before I pop my lid. And kind of hand the torch off to whomever else is near me before I start cussing out leaders and probably jeopardizing the reputation of what we've got going on.
I'll take this opportunity to whisper to Core. And so I'll go up to Core and I'll whisper in her ear what she thinks of Copper's proposal. Whether or not you think that is fair and just, or do we consider other options?
I see where they're coming from. I see. I'm still just trying to get my head around it, and honestly, I think it's our only option. Everyone seemed to be in accordance with it.
And so I will look around the room and ask the room if that is, if what Copper has proposed is agreeable, and to see if there are any objections.
And if there's any other suggestions.
Midpick thinks that's the best course of action since adventurers can be quite stubborn. It's easier to let them decide who they want to serve under. I'm okay with that. Your grandfather, he will agree. Only because it seems like this conversation is just going to go in circles. Leander will go. It makes the most sense, because if we are to offer up more of our people, but you only offer in your one life. But with adventurers at our army side, that can turn the table and inspire. We may be strong individuals, some of us are, but having a few more may not hurt. That does sound like a solid plan. Sanguine. We'll go, as long as I got you guys a dibs. Call dibs on you guys.
Like I fight with anyone else.
Call it. Never mind. I'll take the middle. We'll take the middle.
Guess we're taking the middle.
We got it. Copper obviously gives his plan to orcs. Since they have a relatively sizable to go. As long as we don't have to fight, as long as the drow don't choose us, we are acceptance to it. Since we are masters at terrain combat.
Then I take this opportunity to look at our group and go, this is the best course of action, and I think we should take it.
I agree.
Fade Pig will say, oh, do you also agree to be the sin? I forgot. Did we ever check on that?
No.
I don't think my friends want me to be a
We
saint.
can talk later. I'll call you
later.
Okay.
The deal is currently rescinded.
We'll talk later. All right.
You do like the mom thing and like
but-
blow your hood up so you can't make eye contact with them.
No, don't look.
But-
Don't look at the bad man.
But I do think it is agreeable with Copper's proposal. We're in agreement with that.
Donta goes, chocolate blue, as long as I get to be part of your group. Because I feel like that would be the most fun. I would be okay with that as well.
Come join us in the middle.
Yay! For the fun and the shooting. Dante will make his way over to your group. Violet will go,
yeah.
alright, bye Dante. It was great
I
having
hop
you.
on Dante's shoulder. The boys are back together.
The boys are back together! Where are you?
Right.
Oh, there you are.
I just want to talk.
Violet will agree. That makes the most sense, and they are happy to serve whoever they get. It's fine. The dwarves will agree. It makes sense because, again, adventurers have very unique items and skill sets that will be beneficial to any army. The Sins, Typhon, he will agree, and he would like to serve under Tolus. The Angels and Drow, fine. The Drow and the Celestials agree as well. As long as they don't have to serve the same person, they are okay with being whatever they are. The Angels prefer to be the reserve, to be sent out as healers when needed.
Excuse me.
Okay, so the only thing that we have to decide now is what group we would like to be with.
Are we?
The dwarves go, well, why don't you guys pick?
I thought
Well,
we were gonna be with Simon.
as
He called dibs, but it wasn't a final.
we, as a group, also need to decide this here. Are we going to split up on multiple paths and try and meet in the center, or are we all going to take the same path and leave the other paths to their own devices?
Okay. So for a DM, really quick thing, that does bring up a good question. So, if you have multiple characters in the campaign, you can split your current character somewhere else.
Am I going to get to play Nonagon?
No, unfortunately, Nonagon.
I was going to ask, like, are special characters allowed? So, like, the Halloween
Halloween specials are allowed.
I have 2 characters aside from KT.
Correct. Those are what I was talking about as the mercenaries or the other adventurers that we showing up. They will be going where needed. If any of these characters here split and you choose to play another character that you have or would like to create another character, that is the character that will end the campaign. You will not be switching back to whoever's here.
Are we able to create characters in order to serve as generals?
No. It's just whatever characters have already been.
Okay.
So you can, if you wanted for more flavor, go, hey, my Halloween special character would like to go under Vidpick. My Christmas character would like to serve under Tolis. That is just flavor. You're more than welcome to give me that. Or if you want your character to be on reserve, which would whoever is decided to be the reserve amongst the lords, that will determine what. But you don't have to decide now.
I'd probably have to update their equipment.
But if you do choose to make a new character and want to test out, you go to just 2 blues and 2 greens.
Okay.
No extra bonuses or anything like that.
Okay.
Peter?
Yeah.
In the very particular circumstance of May I and Talbot,
Yes.
Considering their 2 separate past histories, will you allow me to put May I in the same group as Talbot, or Talbot in the same group as May I, as they both have equal stances on getting into the center?
I would be okay with that, since obviously Gangris will probably swap over as well in case Fred would want to come back to the center, and same with Thereus. So they might swap over to whoever, because the lords still have to agree on Sanguine's group taking the middle.
What happens if too many people take the middle? And the adventurers don't divvy up as well?
Again, you guys do have multiple characters, so that's where you don't have to decide now. You can take the week and decide on who wants, but this is just the option.
Yeah, I also want to talk to you off stream about some.
But for you, Travis, is if you would have to pick who you want to end the campaign with.
Yeah.
I do have a plan for both characters, for both Talbot and May I. If you switch, if you choose to play May I have a plan for Talbot. If you choose to play Talbot, I have a plan for May I. So I just want you to be able to play who you want to end the game with.
Yeah. I just wanted to get that
clarification. No. Yeah. So pretty much, I'm just going to take these 3 off the board, or just put them over here, since these 3 will most likely be in. Yeah. And May I?
Yeah. Okay.
And May I does say that he's going to bring Tyranno with him wherever he goes.
That's fine.
I'm not going to be playing Tyranno.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, for this, we was to say this is a different representative. Oh no, that's Jeff.
Yeah.
So Tyranno and May I are going to be in the same group as us.
Yeah.
And I think I rather want to play, but
It's okay.
Kill off one character, be another. Kill off that character, be another.
Well, it's one. That's the thing.
I know. But I'm just saying.
Even if your character is in, like, if you have multiple characters in the same lane, if the character you are playing dies, you're not gonna swap to one other, because I've already planned your other characters. You either make a brand new character and come in, or you can just show up and help me answer questions. I will be ending the game with Donta, so Typhon will not. I will not be DMing Typhon.
Do you mean you're not going to be Eugene?
Eugene at this point is a plot device still or anything.
An NPC.
Yeah,
If the NPC at the very
That's because
most.
he's so powerful.
if he does come in, it will be only to progress and not actually do his
Yeah.
combat and everything. But for me, I will be playing Dante when we get into actual combat. So you at least have a ranger's off healer.
Okay. So I will look at the group, and I'm going to ask. For us, it appears to be clear. We either want to be with Core's group, the North Stars, or Talbot's.
I'm going to the North Stars.
Talbot, whatever.
It's the only
You-
party here I could see myself even working under.
Whatever you feel is best, I will follow you 100%. But I think phoning some friends might also behoove us. And I go over the eye ring, and through like a very Doctor Strange-esque portal, Bakugo comes out from the Halloween special, and you see like this like fucking lich-ass looking world.
Is that who you're gonna end it with?
That's at least how Bousta's gonna come out with, like, is trusting Talbot with whatever decision she logically decides to make. But Bakugo comes out and goes, "So what did I miss?"
You're gonna go with Bakugo. Alright. So to let you guys know before any final decisions, whenever we do maps and everything, it will just be your group, and if I put NPCs or like army people, you guys are level 9, so you outbeat mostly the army people. So they will just be either cannon fodder or they're fighting off this way while you guys are focused on this main thing.
Mm-hmm.
Focus on the odds.
Correct. Whatever you end up character, that's on you. Party balance is on you guys. Everything right now is on you. However you want to end this game with. You. So we don't have to decide who you play now, which is fine. But as a group, I would just like to know who you going to quote serve under. When we play next week, that's when your final decision needs to be made.
For the character.
For the character, yes. That means please use the group chat to discuss. Again, you have Dante, so you do have a ranger. That's about it.
Yes, the most crucial part of this operation. How could I ever operate without him?
I'm just saying.
The most OP character of us all.
Right?
He's got healing, so I mean, I can do what I want.
I don't know outside. I don't know who's going to show up on the final session. I don't know who's going to show up the next couple of sessions. It just might be you 5.
Does anyone have an opinion about where we go before I say something?
In the end of the day, Bousta is going to trust whatever Talbot decides. Like, Bousta is sticking with you, Talbot.
Yeah.
But, like, in the end...
Not because I saw you naked.
No, definitely not because there's any type of...
awkwardness.
Anything like that. Like, there is half, like, Bousta obviously trusting you as, like, coming from the homelands, but Bousta also wants to go with someone who's more of a sure pick. Like, the North Stars are obviously a fantastic pick. Seeing Leander, obviously, like the Leonin are a good pick. Like, Tolis, with having the backing, especially now that the Sins are, like, committing under Tolis, having them as a good pick. Like, whoever logically seems like the most, like, the surest pick for us to be able to serve with to get through the center, like, Bousta wants to put his eggs in that basket. But whatever, like, Talbot sees as the most logical pick, in the end of the day, even if Bousta doesn't see that, he's going to go with whatever Talbot sees, because she may see something that he doesn't.
Correct. And this doesn't have to be a final decision. You can say it now, but if you guys talk it through and go, you look, even though the North Star seems fine, we're going to go with Vid pick just because of his numbers.
Also,
So be it.
Also, let's just say that Vidpick is our enemy, and the enemy of our enemy is our friend. But as soon as this is done, he's our enemy again. So it wouldn't hurt for us to put him in the center and let him get beat up on a little bit.
Baguio, especially because of he can sense like the warlock deals from Vidpeck, and since the sheer number, Baguio is 100% going to serve with Vidpeck.
So, but for the current people here, and the current party, I just would like to know who, so I can assign everyone else theirs.
Boosta's buying into Talbot's decision, and we'll stick with her no matter what.
Okay, so what about Core? What is Core's opinion on this?
She's kind of torn between three. She obviously would, the North Star would be a really good pick, as Bousta stated. But she would also love to fight with her friend Leander. But at the same time, she's torn because she doesn't want to leave her people.
So, again, to give Core the option, or if the party does want to split, that's fine. It's just the players as a team are going to decide who they want to serve under. Again, I mean, if Yeslie does want to play someone else, we all know where Core's going to end up. Core's going to end up in the middle. Hopefully, end up in the middle.
I'll probably bring in Navir, but I'm gonna play Core.
So, yeah, okay, so yeah, it makes sense that Yeslie would be torn between the three. What about you guys, Rachel and
Sanguine?
Simone? Sanguine.
There's not really a choice for me because don't trust, hate, don't know, and then Leander. I don't like Leander because he was talking about sacrificing Mai and Iris. So I really don't have anyone else to pick, and I don't want to. It's like these guys, the Furbolgs, are not necessarily ones that I'm object to. I understand a lot of that friction was emotional, but also I don't want to put Core's family in the middle. If anyone needs to go into the middle, it's going to be the paladins with the divine smites and the
smiting all the way.
Yeah, and so Sanguine is the only one here that I definitely would trust with my life as a fellow past party member, but also he's coming with a group that is trained fighters and healers, and they're beefed.
And who also who fought constantly with Screenus and slaughtered the port cities to take over the port cities.
I trust Sanguine enough to think that he went to his place and rooted out the evil, because he wouldn't be bringing them to the table if he hadn't.
You guys will find out more of that whenever we discuss. What about you, Ramon?
Well, I can tell you off the bat, one of my side characters I can put in Tolus, Regalia, because that would make the most sense.
What?
It's the only metropolis, like you said, so he'd be naturally gravitated towards the bigger cities. So,
and Princess Kenny as well.
Yeah. Regalia and Princess Kenny, if I can get Kyle to join.
Yeah. If he wants to make a new character, he can.
Absolutely.
He's more than welcome. Obviously, in person would be better.
Yeah. As far as Tori goes...
where's that beautiful bird going?
Where's that little boy going? Where's Dante going?
With you guys. So whatever you guys decide.
Whatever we decide. I would also be partial towards Sanguine's crew. But I wouldn't be upset if we went with any of the others, really. That would be... Sanguine's crew would be my main choice.
Okay. So is that a unanimous decision, Sanguine?
No, because I think Core's still working on hers.
Oh, yeah. Core... Oh, well, she's done talking to someone. But Travis, yeah? Sanguine?
Yeah, it will be clear. It's clear that from her perspective, the North Stars are the best option for their group.
And what about Yeslie, hearing that everyone kind of is down for Sanguine's group? Are you okay with that as well?
Yeah.
Alright, so the first group, number 1 will go with number 7 and act as their generals and lieutenants. to back them up. The Sins will go with Tolis because of their relationship with Typhon and Iris. 11 will go with 5.
Angels with the Furbolgs.
Angels with Furbolg. Drow with nope, they don't want them. So with Vidpick. Our lovely Violet will go with Leander. And then
Leave the
that's
dwarves by themselves.
yeah, this leaves the dwarves and orcs by themselves. Which
Did
means
they ever say they were putting up people?
Where did you put the Fearbolgs?
Fearbolgs are with the ASMR.
Azamar, the angels.
Okay.
Yeah. Which this will be decided next session on who gets what spot, pretty much.
Of course, it would be funnier to put the drow with the dwarves because they're both underground people, so it seems like they would work together, but it's elves and dwarves, so they would hate each other, and that would be
correct.
funny.
And then you have orcs and drow who still hate each other because of the slavery.
Yeah.
But this does seem like the most logical thing to do. So you will at least have very powerful Sins with Metropolis of Tolis's.
Yeah.
Alright. That being said, the leaders will... I can talk to myself and discuss between the leaders what they want to do and make a decision and see how many more people you guys get. Or we can roleplay that next week.
Ugh, that's going to be a terrible roleplay session because 3 of us can't talk.
Yeah, I think it would be best if it's fast forward because their thought is the leaders will be talking amongst themselves.
They also have to come up with like a peace treaty and all that.
Correct. So it's easier for me to do that.
Absolutely.
And everything and find out those minor details. Well, not minor, but bigger details. But since I know who's going to
adventuring party
serve
who
what,
doesn't actually rule anybody, we don't even know that.
I will come up with a plan, and then I will come up with a scenario what I think who should go where. You guys are more than welcome to disagree with that, but you guys will have the middle. I don't think anyone else is gonna fight you on that. You guys will have a week to decide who you're gonna end the campaign with. So that means if Rachel does want to play a new character.
I mean,
totally
I
fine.
have my Halloween character, but she's still a cleric. She's still a light cleric, so I mean, like...
Yeah.
We just add her to something else.
But
Yeah,
it's all up to
older
you
character.
guys.
Let's stick with Beryl.
I know Rob might show up last session for the very finale of it. He was talking to me about that. I asked him he might show up on that. Other than that, Rob's the only one that I know who's showing up, that may show up. So that should be fun.
Hell yeah.
And I personally won't know.
Yeah. So that's... Luckily, if your D&D Beyond character is updated and everything, we can easily play that as well.
It's all 3 are level 9s.
Yeah.
They don't have extra goodies or anything.
Yeah.
But they're level 9s.
So, that being said, when we get into combat, which probably be happening next session, skills, saves, and combat, everything will be applied. I am going to try to make it as labyrinth as possible, both on a map and on here. Pretty much what you're supposed to see to what you actually see. Yeah,
Are you waiting?
just know your character. That being said, we will call it here for the night. As always, I'm your friendly neighbor, Dungeon Master Peter. Thank you for my lovely players for staying a little longer than expected. It was a lot to discuss, a lot of emotions, a lot. But as always, it's for love and care. And we're about to have some fun with some combat. It's been a while since we've done there. KT became a captain.
Captain.
And Talbot is the manslayer.
Mon Capitan.
Until the
Sorry. What?
Until then, we'll see you next time. Oh, don't forget to check out Try to See on Demand. He is a Dead by Daylight streamer, and since there's some new updates with Dead by Daylight, he may be hopefully streaming those soon. We'll see. But anyways, we'll see you guys next week.